I'm going to knock him out. I'm going to knock him out.
You're very welcome to the Lightweight Boxing Show. This week we are at the VIP gym in Astley, which is just in between Wigan and Salford. And it's a cracking gym, lots of talent in there. Well, it's fair to say a few characters as well.
There is. Some great work goes on down here, producing champions week in, week out. So let's head in, make sure our pants are tied, off we go.
Tell us about the new signing.
Yeah, so I'm in the gym, obviously. I enjoy being in the gym. Got a great set of lads here at VIP. Been in the gym all year round, as you know. I love it in here with Jamie and Nigel. But yeah, we've got some exciting news. So officially, I'm signed by Boxer and Sky Sports now. So we've made that transition and things are looking good, and hopefully some big news in the coming weeks.
When you say big news, Jack, I think it's all over the internet. It's the fight that everyone wants to see, the rematch that everyone wants to see. Is that big news? Something to do with that big rematch? Or can you not just say just yet?
You know what? Things are in the pipeline. We're working on a date in November. There is talks for the rematch with Josh. The fight that I've been pushing for, the fight that the public's been pushing for as well. So things are looking good. We're in a good place now to negotiate, and I'm confident in going in there and getting it done this time and getting them belts.
We know what happened a few months ago, obviously. Again, it's something that you've probably just had to deal with, haven't you? I mean, how have you dealt with it?
I've got a good support network. I've got a lovely missus, a good family. Jamie, the lads that I surround myself with day to day, I've got a good set of people, so it's not been that difficult. I had a few down days after the fight. I've drawn a line underneath it. I've been back in the gym and I want to strive to be better. I thought I put on a good performance. I thought I did more than enough to win the fight, but I know I can be better. I'm 29 now, I'm coming into my prime, and I know that next time around I'm going to be better than that.
When that fight with that kind of decision, in a weird way, listen, like I say, 99% of the people thought you'd done enough, more than enough, to take the belts that night. And don't get me wrong, nothing will replace not being able to take all the marbles back to your house. And to the fight in town of Charlie, you know, just how big, but in a strange way, your profile has ended up even bigger than if you would have got the win that night, because of a lot of people seeing it as a massive injustice. Am I right in saying that? Yeah,
I'm a glass half full type of guy.
Yeah.
Every cloud has a silver lining. I didn't get the decision, but the support that I've had since the fight, and I know the opportunities that are going to come my way. I think I showed myself on a bigger platform on Sky what I'm capable of, and for me this is just the beginning of some big fights to come.
Yeah.
You know what? I have no feelings toward Josh whatsoever. It wasn't his decision, it was the judge's decision. I think the kind of the way he's carried himself after the fight, he hasn't done himself any justice, but ultimately I thought in the weeks after the fight it was a no-brainer. It was done. He was going to move up to welterweight and try and fight some of the boys there, but I think as it's unfolded, we've seen the amount of pressure that he's under and the fights that may not be there now at welterweight. So over the last couple of months I have had a feeling inside that we would be in this position that we're in now to negotiate a rematch.
Are you expecting a better Josh if it goes ahead in November?
Of course, I know. You know yourself, once you've shared the ring with somebody a second time, even if it's a sparring session, once you've been in the ring with somebody, you kind of got an idea, haven't you?
Yeah.
And I expect Josh to come firing on all cylinders like I did last time. And I know no matter what he brings, if this rematch goes ahead, I'll be ready for anything and more.
Yeah. If the rematch does take place in November,
I'm going to knock him out. I'm going to knock him out. I feel it, I'm manifesting it, it's going to happen. Ultimately, I'm the B-side, so if it has to go to Scotland, so be it. I mean, I think I've got more fans up there than him now, so that doesn't matter. But the perfect scenario for me would be the Manchester Arena. It's on my doorstep. I sold out in the end. The fight sells. We'll put a good undercard together. That would be perfect.
Well, Jack Catterall, very positive man, but I tell you what, everyone cannot wait really for that rematch. I mean, it has to happen, and it's good that it could happen in November. It's a belting fight to look forward to.
It's fantastic that it looks like we're going to get that fight. And listen, So I said it then. You've got to give Josh Taylor credit.
Yeah.
But if he is going to stay at 140, there is no other fight for Josh realistically than a Jack Catterall. But still, you've got to give him credit, and it's a fight everyone wants to see. It's just I wonder where we go. Is it here, road in Manchester, neutral ground in London, or back up to Scotland? Either way, it's a fascinating fight, and Jack, rightly so, he's very confident. But we've just got to see what comes with Josh Taylor, because we can't overlook Josh Taylor. He's one of the best fighters we've seen in Britain.
Well, it's just a fascinating prospect, because did Josh Taylor take Jack Catterall a little bit lightly? Was he tight at the weight? All these other things
so many factors.
We're actually going to find out, aren't we? But what I was really interested at was Jack. He's not messing about. I'm going to knock him out this time, he says.
And he's going to have that confidence. He hurt Josh on a number of occasions, and if he feels it's a bit longer again at the weight, obviously making that weight takes away the punch resistance. But I think Jack just believes that he's got Josh's number, and you can understand why he has that confidence from the first fight. Josh, he's going to have the bit between his teeth, and he says it's a really bad Josh Taylor, and he couldn't beat me on my worst night. He probably should have got the decision, which everyone thinks. But if Josh does make those improvements, obviously Jack's in for a tough night. It's a fascinating fight, and it's a rematch that I certainly can't wait for, and I think the whole of the British boxing public can't wait for.
Yeah, well, Jack's always fit, and this is where he does his training, of course, under the guidance of Jamie Moore and Nigel Travis. It's a real double act. Jamie away today, but we did catch up with the other fella. Well, very, very, very well known in the sport. Here's Nigel Travis. You're a firefighter, done a bit of acting.
Yeah.
You're an amateur coach, you're a pro coach. What's the most important thing to you?
My missus and my kids, that's a staple answer. No, I'm blessed that I've got the opportunities that I have regarding the fire service. The fire service is the best job I could hope for, with the time that it allows me to run the gym. And obviously running an amateur gym is pretty labour intensive, obviously is associated with Fox, and it's a fantastic place, and so to run it's like a full-time job. You need a lot of time, and the shift allows me, the fire service shift allows me to run the gym as a full-time coach really, and be here. So as you say, many hats, but the amateur club is special.
Yeah.
Amateurs, it's a special thing. Now, obviously, when you become a professional coach, it's not a business for me and Jay, but obviously there's the financial reward for when kids win, and it's a business for some people. So the boxing club the amateur boxing club is in no way, shape or form any financial reward, but the feeling that you get out of running the boxing club it's just nothing like it. The engagement you have with the kids, the connection, you become a mentor. I didn't even know what a mentor was, but you become a mentor to these kids, and you replace maybe false. They had a perception of heroes in their neighbourhood, and you replace that, and I think it's a good thing, because these kids change their lives unrecognisably. It really is a sight to behold when you see the journeys that come along. But boxing is in my heart because of my father. My father did it, and my father's a very, very good coach. Coaches at my club now with
Still
me.
looks as fit as a flea, your dad, by the way.
Yeah, he is. He's been doing it a long time, and I mean, I don't want to be the voice of reason, but if he stops, that probably be the end of him. So really, it's what keeps him going. There are people within our sport. Me and Nancy were talking about Jimmy before from the Fox.
Yeah, Jimmy Lewis. Yeah.
Jimmy's, he's a stalwart of our
keeps them young.
Nice. Without a doubt. And as soon as that routine is stopped, then they die. I'm not wishing doom on him, but my dad won't never stop. My mum wouldn't allow him to.
Yeah.
My mum wants him out of the house 3 nights a week because it gives her a bit of freedom in the house, I suppose. But no, it's just you have to have a very, very supportive missus to do this, and I know that's what it's a bit not tongue in cheek, but my missus allows me to do what I'm doing. She allows the fact that I'm out of the house, and maybe that's why we're still happily married after 22 years, because I'm not in the house every night, moaning, keep getting under her feet, stopping her watching whatever she wants to watch, or she runs the house, and someone else has got to look after these kids at my side, and and I do that, so she allows that, so I'm very fortunate. The more successful you are, the more popular you become, so people want to join your team as such, and it's we have difficulty in that because we want to give everyone the attention that they deserve.
Yeah.
No one's bigger than the gym as such, and that should be the case in any gym. They all just mucking together and have a laugh, but and I know the social media stuff and it's a world of its own, and we post stuff.
It's normally you pulling people's pants down.
Yeah, so people see you having a laugh and taking the mickey, but
A lot of hard work goes on. No.
absolutely. So we wouldn't have the success that the kids are having, and it's down to them. We've got the easy job. If you can't train Jack Catterall, if you can't train Chantal Cameron, who are fantastic talents, Lavone Harrison, Sean McGoldrick, as you said, Sean's had bad luck with his hand, but he's mandatory for the British Championship now, which would be, another phenomenal thing. Yeah. Mark Leach, was desperately unlucky or didn't do what I expected him to do, and as you say, he's an amazing talent, and should be fighting for world honours and should be establishing himself, to earn decent dough for his family, his ever-increasing family. But we've got a really good ethic here, and as I say, no one's bigger than the gym, and we have a laugh. But when the hard work starts, it goes, and I think that's proven in results as they're going at the moment.
Well, where do you start with Nigel Travis?
No, listen, all the joking aside, he does a lot of good in the community. He's a real sort of unsung hero, like I said, and you can see that what it means to him. Forget about the professional champions and stuff like that. That amateur club, Moss Side Fire Station, which is doing amazing things. That's his sweetheart, and it's brilliant to see it getting the kind of exposure it deserves.
And he got killed in Peaky Blinders. But of course, does great work here with Jamie Moore, fantastic stable of fighters. And one of the up-and-coming fighters, because we've spoken to Jack Catterall, we know what he's all about, and many people won't yet know about Akib Fiaz, a real talent from your neck of the woods as well.
He is, Oldham lad.
We thought we'd have a quick word with Akib. Well, Akib, I know that you're out in action in just a couple of days' time, so how are you feeling? I mean, been watching you training, looking as sharp as ever.
Yeah, I feel good. Training's going really well. We were just out in Tenerife with Jamie and Assam, doing a bit of work there.
So, poor you.
I know, yeah. But yeah, no, feeling really good, and I can't wait, yeah.
What is the kind of plan then? I mean, it's an unfair question in a way because there's so many variables in terms of getting the fights you want and all the rest of it. But what do you want to do before the year's out?
I just want activity, like Ant said earlier on. I had one in June. I had a hand operation as well, so I just need to be back in the ring, active again, get some momentum really. Yeah.
Akib, finally from me. Obviously, there's Jamie, there's Nige. There's also your big bro. There's not many big brother, little brother partnerships in boxing that work as well as yours. What do you put that down to?
He's not just my brother, he's my best friend as well.
Nice.
We work together, we do everything together, literally, and we have bust-ups and arguments like every other brother.
Like you should.
Yeah, like every other brother relationship, but then all it takes is let's go get a coffee together, and then we're all right. We live in the same house, we're closer than any other brother relationship, I think. And we've got our younger brother as well who's now boxing. He's had a couple of amateur fights, and it's just a family business, yeah.
Next in line, good stuff.
So you've got Assam, obviously part of the team here at VIP. There's Jamie, but you've got to put with Nigel as well. So, I mean, how's the dynamic work?
So, that's a different kind of relationship.
I'm only saying this so he can hear me. Obviously, I want him to hear
Jamie
me.
and Nigel, that's a right threesome, that, isn't it?
That is a proper threesome. Nigel, again, they're great men, all of them, and like I said earlier about last year and the passing of my mum, my friend, and the hand operation and all the hard times. Without them three, I wouldn't have pulled through. So I've got to give every bit of credibility and every bit of everything I do is for them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Akib, we wish you all the best.
Really exciting journey, I think. Akib Fiaz is on. He's a real talent. I'm such a lovely lad as well.
A great lad, and I mentioned it then. I think it's a great relationship he's got with his brother Assam, who's a fantastic young coach himself. And I love it when sort of a relationship with family works in boxing, because sometimes we know it goes wrong, but them two, like you say, they couldn't be any closer.
Yeah, he's been a great addition to the team here, Assam. No
yeah,
doubt about that.
Definitely. I think Jamie and Nigel really appreciate him.
Yeah. Well, of course, Akib features on the card this weekend. It's a big, big night in Sheffield. We mentioned at the top of the show as well, we spent a bit of time at the Steel City Gym with Dalton Smith and with Sonny Edwards. But Akib is on that bill, but it's a cracking bill, isn't it? I mean, Sam O'Mason gets a real good opportunity against Dalton Smith, but we don't want to over-egg it too much, but we've both spoken off camera as well as on camera about how good we think Dalton Smith is.
Yeah, we both believe that Dalton Smith goes the whole way. I genuinely mean that. I think he's one of the best. Can you still call him a prospect? Sam O'Mason, listen, it's a derby. It's his world title fight, and that British title means so much to fighters and brings the very best out of them, and I'm sure it'll do that to Sam O'Mason. Listen, there's no denying it's a big ask from him. You know, he starts a big underdog, but what do we always say? We rarely see a bad British title fight, so we'll see what happens.
Well, cue to fight week in Sheffield.
I think Dalton's a great talent, and we've seen what he can do, and we've seen what he's delivered in his recent fights, and huge opportunity for him. You know, he's wanted to headline in Sheffield for a long time. He's pushed us on it, and now he's here. You know, he's going to have over 4,000 people in there on Saturday night, and he's got to go in there and put in a big performance to get a big win.
Sam O'Mason, the opponent, he's not had a fight in like 3 years, or he's had 4 rounds in 3 years. How did that matchup come about?
Look, obviously, the key for us was getting Dalton the British title shot. It was originally supposed to be Akeem Ennis-Brown. He pulled out of the fight, I think, through injury. Then you had the likes of, we were looking at Casey Benjamin as well. But, you know, Sam O'Mason was a fight that the British Boxing Board approved. I think he's experienced, an experienced fighter, and he's going to give Dalton a challenge. But Dalton's going to go out there in big performance on Saturday.
I'm not in game to pick and choose and I'll go this way, I'll take this route and whatnot. It's just a case of, you know, and something like this, a British title fight, I didn't even ask who it was. I just saw it and I was just like, when, where's it happening? How long have I got to get ready? X, Y, and Z. Obviously saw it with Dalton Smith, and then it brings, you know, a lot of people don't know this, but when I left, I was at Ingle Gym for 12 years, and I left, and then I went to Grant's gym for around 2 weeks. I was training with a guy called Ian Grant, who were there. At that time, Grant did, he was only doing amateurs, and then I was just back and forth, I didn't know what we were going to do. And then I had a meeting with Ryan, and we've progressed from there, we've picked up belts, and we've done what we've done, but I've been in it a long time. So I'm at a stage now where this has come along, and everything's perfect, everything's fitted well, and I just feel I'm here for a reason. I'm not here by chance. So I'm excited. I was saying yesterday in one of the interviews, I'm a fan of this fight myself. I'd love to sit and watch it, but obviously I can't. I'm in it. But I can't wait, and I'm looking forward to it. And I think it's just going to be one of them cracking fights that could be one of them that's possibly go down in history, to be honest.
You know, but there's no easy fights at this stage in your career in boxing, but you know, obviously, you know, I'm overwhelmed by the support and how it's sold, and it's going to be electric on Saturday night. But you know, I'm at a stage in my career now where, you know, you can look at the people I've boxed. I've not boxed no gimmies. You know, since first fight camp, every single fight's been a real contender, and you know, all I hear is, "Oh, but you're in with Sam can punch this and punch." I've got more punches I've got no more stoppages on my record than Sam, and you look at my opponents who I've fought, they've got more knockouts than Sam's previous opponent. So that, you know, that doesn't bother me. At the end of the day, it's just me and Sam in there. I've got that experience behind me, and on Saturday night, this is going to be like the homecoming for Dalton Smith, and you know, this is what's going to boost my career to the next level. You know, I've been a young fighter coming up, watching the past British greats. You know, Friday fight night used to be the British title used to be the main event. And you know, that's the journey I've seen. You know, British, Commonwealth, European, and so on. And you know, that's what I want to look back on my career, and I've won all those traditional belts. And yeah, you could say there's easier routes for me to take. I could go international routes, but you know, I want to do it the proper way. You know, I look at the division I'm in, and I'm in probably one of the toughest divisions in boxing right now. So you know, I want to do it right. I'm confident in my abilities. I know where I can go. And the British is one belt I'm picking up along the way. this is what I've needed. You know, you see how the club's got behind me. You know, that's not being forced. That's because they wanted to do it. You know, nearly 5,000 is going to be in there. You know, the atmosphere is going to be hostile. And, you know, this is what we dream of from being young kids. And I can't wait to be stood on that podium and soaking it all up. And, you know, this is what we dream of. And these are why we work so hard for nights like this. So, you know, there's no pressure on me because I've wanted these nights since I was 5-6 years old.
I think, look, the key is for Sam Amazing is the experience he's got. A much more experienced professional fighter than Dalton Smith. But, you know, Dalton, look, as I say, Dalton's a talented fighter. He's shown what he can do, you know, as he stepped up, and this is another step up for him. So, look, it's all to play for Sam Amazing, but I think you're going to see a great performance from Dalton on Saturday.
Yeah, so a massive night in Sheffield to look forward to. Which leads us to the Crolla bet. What's it going to be this week, Anthony?
This week it is the treble, where I'm going to go Dalton inside the distance, 1-6 if it's available. I'm going to go Sandy Ryan to get revenge.
Points?
Yep, points. And the big punching Jordan Thompson to win inside the distance again, 1-6 if available. If it's not, just inside the distance. So. A nice little treble there.
Yeah, interesting lad Jordan as well, isn't he? Son of Jeff,
yes.
Who's a karate world champion, who does great things in the community. That kid's your youth charter, wasn't it, Jeff Thompson?
Unbelievable.
And Jordan, a brilliant tennis player.
He is, a very high level, and I think that tennis, that serve, if his power's anything to go by, that's where it comes from, because a serious puncher, and, you know, managed by Brian Peters, and we know he doesn't waste his time with fighters, Brian. Very, you know, he works with a very high level of fighters.
Another decent fighter on his books as well. A girl with a bit of a
future, but
Katie
yeah.
Taylor.
Yeah, I've heard of her.
Yeah.
She, unbelievable. Some of the fights he's had over the years, Brian.
Yeah. Well, that's about it. Of course, if you would like to go to the YouTube channel, subscribe, turn the notifications on, and see all the amazing work that we've piled up on the Lightweight Boxing Show. Well, that is just about it. So enjoy the fights over the weekend, Anthony.
I'm going to look forward to them.
We'll catch up on the road sometime next week. Thank you very much indeed for watching the Lightweight Boxing Show.